Hello, YouTube world. Thanks for checking in at Callie's Take. If this is your first time to the channel, please like, subscribe. Also hit the notification bell so you can get the newest and the bonus content that's put out every day. And we will be making some additions to the channel in regards to some more sports topics, different things. So please be aware of the additions that are coming. Please show support as you always do. And I just want to jump into today's topic, which is, how Kawhi Leonard's decision can affect the outcome of the Clippers organization. When we think about Kawhi Leonard, we think about a player who, plays both ends of the floor, a player who is just more than valuable to any team in the NBA. I think any team would take Kawhi Leonard if given the opportunity. I think Kawhi Leonard is a top 2 player in the world when healthy. I personally believe, if you ask me, he's the best player in the world when healthy. I just don't think nobody brings things to the table the way he does. Like I said, both ends of the floor. He is a mercenary. He is, fearless. He is, fearful to a lot of players. A lot of players look at him in a way of fear. And I've always said, I think there's many players that look at him different than they look at a lot of other superstars, because not only he's quiet and you don't know what he's thinking, but he's also very, very expressive of his feelings when he's out there on the court, because he lets his game do the talking. And I always felt he plays at a high level when the stakes are higher and when the lights are brighter. So with all that being said, I would say, his decision to stay with the Clippers is going to be stay or leave, I should say. His decision to stay or leave is going to be really, really huge for the Clippers. It can affect them in either way. It can affect them in a good way or a bad way. And I guess what I mean, when I say that, to, categorize it a little bit more and break it down, Kawhi has an opportunity to make a ton of money with the Clippers. The Clippers are going to probably throw the whole bank at Kawhi Leonard. Let's just keep it real. They probably will. And as they should, because when you look at the team this year and how they played, and they had a really good season, nothing was guaranteed, just like no other season. But they had a really good season, and I really thought if they stayed healthy, I thought they would definitely be the NBA champions. They definitely would be in the finals right now. We wouldn't be talking about the Phoenix Suns and the Bucks going to the finals. We would be talking about the Clippers going to the finals against the Bucks, because I think that would have been the more ideal matchup. Me personally, like I said, Kawhi Leonard's value to this team, Clippers organization, or any team that he's ever been on is very, very high. And, he can definitely make a lot of money with the Clippers, or he can opt out and go somewhere else and find another home. Now, I personally have said before in my other videos, I think Kawhi Leonard should stay where he is. He is a top player in this league. And, being in LA, he'll get all the paparazzi and all the whatever he wants along with that, as long as, he delivers a championship. And I definitely think that's his mindset, to deliver a championship to LA, because he's from there. And I definitely think that's where, his head is, even though it's hard to really say with Kawhi Leonard because he doesn't speak much. But as I said before, I don't see him going to Dallas. I just don't see the point. Dallas, Texas is all right, but it's, to be quite honest, I'd rather live in LA if you ask me personally. And besides, and that's just not me speaking just because I'm from LA, but it's just the fact that, I don't know, I just think there's more to offer in LA land, and like I said, when you have family here in LA, it's where else would you want to be? You know what I'm saying? And that's just the mindset I think Kawhi Leonard has. And I think he should continue to keep that mindset, because he's definitely, one of those players that, a lot of people look at and gratify in regards to, just how great of a player he is, and what more success he could bring to LA, because he could bring a whole lot more success to LA even than what's here now. I know the Lakers won a couple years ago, but he has an opportunity to help the Clippers lift up a trophy they never upheld before. And he has an opportunity to really go out there and separate himself from even more of the greatest players that ever played this game by winning a title with 3 different franchises and possibly being the Finals MVP for all 3 of those franchises. He'll be up there with LeBron and other players when it comes to that. So he has a great opportunity to do that. And when you look at this team, man, this team really rallied around each other. They played for one another. They put their heart and soul into the playoffs, and they just came up short because they didn't have their leader. And, that's a huge piece to miss. And then they start missing other pieces like Zubac and players like that. They was already missing Ibaka. So, but I mean, even with all the injuries they had, they were still in the Western Conference Finals. And they were still 1 or 2 games away from making it to the finals. And and Kawhi Leonard has to look at that opportunity. He has to look at to see what type of team this is. Now, I will say this. If Kawhi Leonard does leave, of course, it opens up a lot of room for them in regards to, having money enough to sign maybe another star player. But I don't really know what other star player you can replace Kawhi Leonard with in the NBA, because to me, if it's not a Kevin Durant or LeBron type player, I don't really think it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? I think it's better, to keep Kawhi if he wants to stay. But if he wants to leave, you do have opportunity. I'm pretty sure Steve Ballmer has plenty of money to find another superstar to try to sign onto that team. But like I said, to me, if it's not a LeBron or a Kevin Durant type, I just don't really see, I don't see any good future for the Clippers if Kawhi Leonard doesn't stay. Because if Kawhi left and they got a Damian Lillard, well, Damian Lillard's good, but he's not Kawhi Leonard. He's not as good as Kawhi Leonard. He don't play both sides of the floor like Kawhi Leonard. So if they get into another series against a team like the Phoenix Suns, yeah, they can score, but defensively, Damian Lillard is a liability at times defensively. So, it's like, he's good, but no. Stephen Curry, no. Any other superstar you could think of? No. That's why I said, really, the Clippers, their whole lifestyle is banking on Kawhi Leonard staying, re-signing with the team with maybe a longer term deal, or at least maybe another 2 years. They at least need Kawhi another 2 years at least, to possibly get to a championship. I think in 2 seasons, the Clippers can get to a championship. I personally think they'll get there next year if they're healthy and, going into the playoffs. I personally think they'll get there next year, but we'll have to see how that goes. We'll have to see if everybody comes back. And I've said before, too, even though Kawhi Leonard is the most vital piece to that team as far as the best player, I do think they have another vital piece that they need to try to, get back as well. And that's Reggie Jackson, because what Reggie Jackson did in those playoffs was simply amazing. He was asked to be the second guy when Kawhi went down, and he was damn sure a really good third guy when Kawhi was there, along with Paul George. So, it's a lot riding on Kawhi Leonard. I don't really see him, like I said, taking his talents anywhere else, because I just don't see it. I don't really think he should go to Miami with Jimmy Butler. I think Jimmy Butler is a good player. Some people might actually say Jimmy Butler's a little bit better than Paul George. I don't know if that's, I would say Jimmy Butler is a better player in regards to being more in control, not being as reckless, and playing better on defense. So if you want to add that in there, then you can go with, Jimmy Butler in that aspect. But it's going to be tough. It's going to be a tough decision for him to make, I think, because, like I said, are you looking to stay in L.A. and, keep with what you had, or you're trying to, keep the chemistry that you have and you had these past couple seasons with this team and take the big money max contract that they're going to throw at you, or you're going to go to another team and try to rebuild and, well, maybe not rebuild, but try to go to another team and see if you can make a run at the championship and, try to have a championship ready made team on another roster. I mean, you can do that, but honestly, you already have a championship made team on the roster you currently have. So, I mean, if I was Kawhi Leonard, I probably would just stay where I am. And, I know his decision is big, and it's big for the NBA world, because a lot of people are anticipating to see exactly what happens with Kawhi and how this whole situation plays out, because he's probably the biggest free agent, no doubt the biggest free agent, that's out there right now. And the media is just going to definitely throw their input in there and try to, throw all these loopholes holes in there. But I mean, the main thing is wait till Kawhi says it. If Kawhi don't say it, if you don't hear anything from his camp or him himself, like I said, don't believe it. But we'll see exactly how it goes. I definitely think it's better for Kawhi to stay where he is. I know the Clippers organization is hanging on a string, waiting to see what Kawhi Leonard's decision is, because I mean, their whole organization, their whole everything, hopes, dreams, all that is riding on Kawhi and New Balance, basically. You know what I'm saying? Since he brought New Balance with him to LA. So, it's a tough situation, because Clippers fans are definitely anticipating for Kawhi to re-sign, but at the same time, with Kawhi's demeanor and mentality, you just don't know. You really just don't know. I mean, nobody thought he was signed to the Clippers a couple of seasons ago. Everybody thought he was going to sign with the Lakers, and then he pulls out a bombshell earthquake in California, and it knocked everybody to a loop, because everybody didn't really, a lot of people didn't see it coming, and it was just a surprise. And like I said, Kawhi Leonard's that type of person. What you're thinking, if you're thinking that he's thinking something, he's probably thinking the opposite. You just can't read Kawhi Leonard. And so it's like, would I be surprised if he left the Clippers? No, I wouldn't. Because when you think about him and his history and how he is, and how his personality seems to be, you shouldn't be surprised by anything with Kawhi Leonard. You just hope that he comes back to the team and they keep the same squad and they run it back, because the squad they got is good enough to win a championship, not go to the finals. Their squad is good enough to win it. So hopefully he comes back, but his decision is really big and it's looming all over the internet, of course. And, everybody just anticipating to see what he does. And hey, if you have any comments on the situation, let me know. Put it in the comment section. Let's talk about it. How big of an effect does he have as far as the Clippers' future? Put it in the comment section. Let me know what you think, or just if you want to speak on the situation, let's talk about it. Let's engage in the Cali Tech community as we always do. And like I said before, just to let you know, we'll be adding some other sport topics and things like that to the channel here soon, in regards to, of course, basketball, everything like that. We'll be adding some football to the channel as well. So, when football season comes back, we'll definitely be adding some things to the channel so we can, grow this thing and talk about a whole lot of things and get a whole lot off our chests. That's the whole point, and but as far as now, I appreciate you listening like always, and leave any comments in the comment section. Let me know how you feel about everything. And hey, Cali out.